science matter. T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia. Science.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Welcome back to the BrewSpytheMagicGuy show, where we're playing a third Jace. It's actually doing a lot better, pause. I hung out with one of my dear friends. We played some board games other than Magic, but at the end of it all, I snuck in that I was working on this deck, and I took into account some of his suggestions, and I think the deck's going to run a lot better now. The big change, one, until Torgar comes out, we are going to continue to play a couple demons, but these are going to eventually become Torgar, and then, of course, things like Bitter Blossom and Call of the Bloodline could just be copies of Lingering Souls. So I'm looking forward to when the card comes out, but in the meantime, I want to test as much of the deck as I can leading up to the tournament, and Torgar is going to come out like right before Baltimore, SCG Baltimore. So, you know, we're not really going to be able to test Torgar online. I'll be able to test it in paper. I plan to test the crap out of that card in paper. I'll let you guys know how it does, but I can't actually test it. Yeah, I can't actually test it online just yet. But I'm excited. I'm excited about the third Jace. I think that's been a long time coming. I think Jace just fills in a lot of the holes that the deck needs a discard outlet. The deck is desperate for things to reanimate with vengeance. Yeah, it's a card from Dominaria. So basically, the card's insane. In certain matchups, you put your opponent to 3 life on turn 3. And I know you're like, BrewSpy, how's that possible? Like, how can you already be doing that with your testing of a card that we just started talking about last stream? Like, in my paper testing, I've been putting opponents to 3 life turn 3 at the earliest. I know you're like, BrewSpy, that's impossible. How are you putting your opponents to 3 life? Well, Torgar puts them to 10, and if they don't have a blocker or specifically Path to Exile or Terminate, I put them to 3 life. Cool, right? I'm just figuring out how to deal the other 3 damage, right? Am I you know, switching the blue out for red and we get Faithful Suiting and Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt would finish off their life total. Am I finishing off their life total with the Bloodghasts? Because Torgar also turns on haste for our suite of Bloodghast. I don't know. I don't know how I'm dealing the last 3 points of damage, but I know how I'm dealing the first 17, and that feels really good. But until that point, we'll keep doing the grindy version of the deck. Have to wait for the new card to come out before... But, like, we still get to test, like, 57 of the deck, like 57 cards worth or so. Whether we're going to run 2 or 3 Torgars yet to be seen, but I get to test at least, you know, 55 or so of the deck, and that's really important. All right, we got some sweet sideboard for this matchup. But I'll see what I can do. Game 1 anyway. They don't always have the main deck relic. They don't always. Now, unfortunately, I don't have one of our better reanimate targets here, right? I mean, this is definitely a matchup where Torgar would deal them 17. Potentially, if they just... Tron doesn't tend to interact with your creatures. Through instant speed removal, they tend to interact with... I mean, there's occasionally a Dismember or 2 in the main, but that doesn't kill a Torgar. Alright, so he finds a plant. We managed to beat Tron the last time we played against it, but... we'll see. Why don't you just play Bump in the Night? Yeah. Deal that last 3 points of damage. I figured out the first 17 points of their life total. Am I really going to ditch Pitlord here? I feel like I'd rather just ditch a Bloodghast. Don't really want to just ditch Pitlord. I mean, Pitlord deals them 9. Pitlord is an actual target for Vengeance. This is just not a matchup for Pitlord, really. That's so sad. Am I really just casting a Bloodghast next turn? That does not seem strong, nearly strong enough. I'm tempted to just pitch a Bloodghast and then cast the other Bloodghast. I don't think Kuro's going to matter in this matchup. I think I'm ditching a Bloodghast. Brutality could finish. Yeah, we're already running a playset of Brutality. Like I was jokingly saying I don't know how I'm going to finish them off. Like, hopefully there'll be some residual threats. Like some tokens left over from Lingering Souls or Call the Bloodline. We could deal some damage with... I mean, like, I'm not too worried about the last little bits of life points. Well, now I wish I'd ditch Pitlord, because if he's about to slam a walker, I'd like to be able to kill it. If it's Worm Coil, that would cost me like my whole life pool. So, yeah, no, I think Kuro was actually correct in retrospect. But too late now. Alright, so I play both of these. He plays Ugin, and game's over. Seems about what's about to happen. That's okay. I mean, I think the last time we played against Tron, we did lose game 1, and then we won games 2 and 3, so. You got one of the 2 main board Ugins? Yep. Yeah, so this is where I'm punished because I didn't pitch Pitlord to the Charter Course, because I could have at least attacked the Ugin. Like I could have done it in the end step, vengeanced out the end step. Unfortunate. I mean, he had to have exact... I mean, if it was Karn, we were still at least putting pressure. No, I mean, like, that's why I think we should add more copies of Jace. Like, this exact reason, like, or... Actually, I've added 2 discard engines. Call and Prodigy. But that's kind of a repeat of the last time we played against Tron, and then we beat them games 2 and 3, so I'm not too worried. Last time the way... Well, we have a new sideboard now, though, so hold on, let's get into that. Alright, so I want Stonies and Needle. That's the easy part. The hard part is the rest. I don't know exactly what I'd cut, and then I don't know... I think Jace and Obsidian are way too fair for this matchup. These are kind of like, we like these more against like other mid-range, or... Not, I mean, not that we're mid-range, but... We like these against like mid-rangey, control-y decks that are playing fair. I tend to not run them against decks like Tron. We don't want to cut any reanimate spells with the new build. I'm trying to stay a reanimator post-board if I can. Trying to, anyway. Kuro's weak against Tron, so I'd probably cut it. I do want Demons. Bitter Blossom's just too slow. At least Call is a discard engine that enables Demon. Probably want Disenchant. Don't think I want the explosives, considering I just brought in 2 Stonies. That seems weird. That would be strange. Do you want like a path for Wormcoil? Wormcoil could really be along like a... Could potentially really slow us down. Could be a really slow speed bump. I think I prefer Disenchant, but there's merit to Fragmentizes as well. There's merit to all of these 4 right here. There's merit to those. These 5 are probably what we need to consider. Some amount of these 5. Probably not explosives. Brutality's weak against Tron as well. It's not very effective. So maybe I have to switch. I mean, maybe I just have to stay on Jace against Tron on the play. I mean, that gives me enough room to run all of these elements if I want them, and then just one Jace. He's going to be looking for his Relic, and I want... Let's see, how many answers to Relic would this be? 6? He'll be digging for Relic. I don't mind having 5 or 6 answers to it, because that's probably how we lose this post-board game. Explosives would give me 1 more answer to Relic of Progenitus, but yeah, I mean, I'd have to cut something different. I'm worried we don't have enough discard outlets if I mean, Thoughtseize is still a discard outlet if we need it to be. I just don't think we have enough discard outlets if I add all of this. I think I actually need 2 Jace. You like Frag on the play? But it's worse on the draw. Yeah, on the play it's good. Like the idea of bolts and lootings. Didn't even look at Torgar with Goryo's in mind. 17 damage is quite potent. Yeah, we'll see how it works or doesn't work. I mean, speaking of doesn't work, like this hand is just one piece away from working. So we're going to mulligan it. This hand sucks too, but we're keeping. I could have gone for turn 1 Serum, but I don't know whether or not he has the Relic of Progenitus yet. So I like just going tap land, say go. I'm only testing 1 Crypt right now. I'm actually testing Treebeard's idea. I'm assuming if he kept a 7, he kept a hand with Relic. That'd be very peculiar if he didn't. That would be quite strange if he didn't. Don't you think, Stream? I think that'd be really strange if he kept a 7 that doesn't have Relic of Progenitus. It's possible, though. I mean, it might have just been a natural Tron hand, so he wasn't interested. And, like, the Stirrings could hit it, too, so... I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to mull to a 5, right? Not that drawing both of the paths is great, because, I mean, again, these aren't fighting against the thing that hoses us the most. Like, I feel better about these when it's something like Scavenging Ooze we're up against. I don't feel as great about these when it comes to facing Tron. I'm much more interested in a Stony Silence. We need white mana first for that to work anyway. Delta, speaking of white mana. Alright, so we ditched the Bloodghast here and put it into play. Then we fetch Shock. Just to represent something. Fetch Shock Serum, bottom. Could Serum again. It's probably correct too. Could have Thoughtseize here. Oh, so close. Alright, so there's the Vengeance. Do I bother with the Thoughtseize? I mean, yeah, I think that's correct. I think I want both of these because Jace is going to let us have access to both. And we can cast both because we have 2 black sources, so I think it'd be foolish to not keep both of those elements. As powerful as Tron is, you can sometimes get lucky and pluck. I mean, I don't need to worry about taking, like, Worm Coils. I would just need to pluck maybe the problematic Planeswalker or what have you. Yeah, would have kept 2, not great, but it can get there. Yeah, exactly. Or if I can Thoughtseize away... Alright, there's Relic. But... this Relic is going to stop my Jace, but it's not going to stop the other things we're trying to do. It will stop Jace from flipping, but we have a land drop. So let's get perfect information, though. I'm pretty sure I'm Thoughtseizing. Yeah. Just in case he's cobbled together Tron. So he's got double Karn, doesn't quite have Tron, but will, unless I take Scrying. So we take Scrying, and he's not going to be able to get to Tron. And then we have both the Breaker and the Wormcoil answered. It's just a matter of finding the answer to the Karns. So we'll take the Scrying. I'll reanimate here. So what do we want to... oh, okay. We just get everything. Opponent can get rid of the Anames. That's fine. We just want the Bloodghasts. It's not a big deal. Why the Oboro? I'm testing it was Treebeard's idea. It's because I don't have Life from the Loam. And I feel like our deck is more like a derivative of Dredge after playing it for some time for you guys. And I've taken some tech that he suggested that is normally something you see in Dredge. Because we're kind of like a derivative of Dredge. All right, go ahead. So he can stop the Jace from flipping if he wants to crack Relic, but all the goods are already on the table, and we don't have the other spirits in this matchup anyway, so it's not like we're losing like an Obsidat or a Pit Lord. Barkeem says I saw the title and I thought you meant Jace Balaran. You thought I meant Baby Jace. Oh, you thought it meant one of each? No, it just means Brun's Prodigy. Oh, he just naturaled the Tron? That's gross. Oh, I can't stop that. I mean, we took the Sylvan Scrying with our Thoughtseize. Opponent just tops the other piece he didn't have. Okay. Well, we tried. I mean, I could have had a Stony Silence draw. That was the last match. The last match we played against Tron, we just had Stony Silence games 2 and 3, and it was easy. So he probably just plays Karn here, and we're just screwed, right? You don't play Wormcoil, do you? He's thinking. He's not sure. Let's see what he does. Okay, there's a glimmer of hope. He led Wormcoil. Decided not to go with Karn. We've already seen him play the tower. Chart a course. Okay. I feel like if I path the Wormcoil, he's just gonna... Maybe I try to flip Jace right here. And he cracks Relic, and then it's fine. We can start refilling the graveyard with other reanimation. Well, no, we cut a bunch of our reanimation, right? I mean, I'm looking for Demon. Demon would outclass. Wormcoil wouldn't outclass Karn. I'm looking for, like, Pithing Needle to beat his hand as well. Let's see. So if we Path Engine, we get in for 8 and put him quite low. And then actually not even Karn saves him anymore, right? So actually we're not in a terrible spot with Double Path. Double Path is actually excellent here. Maybe we should add a third one to the 75. Yes, we can Path for the win. Since we've already reanimated what we want to reanimate in this matchup, I'm probably going to chart a course after attacks. We're probably charting after attacks, right? It's fine. He wants to prevent my Jace from being able to flash back the path. That's reasonable. I also have like I had plus mana on the Crypt of Agadeem there because we had all the Inames in the yard, but we didn't have Demon in hand to hardcast it, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that we're losing that mana here. Don't think Tron can win from here. I hope not. I hope we did this okay. All right, so let's draw the full amount on the Charter Course. Okay. So shock in the Godless Shrine. I could still pitch Swamp to Karn. I just want to represent something. Even if it's something I don't have, I think I want to. And I don't necessarily just immediately Jace flashback the chart because I'm trying to represent that I have something. Probably just plus Jace and say go. I mean, there are top decks that beat us here. I mean, it sucks, but they exist. Like his hand at the time was Karn, Waste, Breaker, Karn, but he just drew 2 cards. One of them was land. Right. Don't forget, guys, I mean, like, we lost game 1. So even if we manage to squeeze this one out, like, I still have to play game 3 against Karn. I mean, against Tron. Another Wormcoil. Okay, but we have the other path. So we're good to go. We just, I guess, had the nuts. We thought the path wasn't going to be that great, and it just was insane. He's just dead here. His hand is this. It's insanity. So I was going to get to see, if I Jace flashback, I get to see 1, 2, 3. I was going to get to see nothing. Yeah. The army of Bloodghasts had to do it. So does something, I mean, like the Jace was actually quite phenomenal there. I mean, I think it's fine cutting a Jace. Yeah, that went our way. I think call is just too slow, easily. Maybe that was what was wrong. I mean, I know I'm desperate for discard engines, but like Jace is a discard engine that they don't really interact with fast enough for me to worry. I mean, on the draw, like it's harder to flip Jace. Somebody was saying they like fragmentize less on the draw. I don't disagree with that. I need to be able to pop those relics. Is why I still like the frags. I mean, it's kind of the same principle with like Dredge. Like they run 3 Nature's Claims because they just have to pop things like Relic or Leyline, etc. So, I mean, he's going to mulligan a lot harder to those pieces this time. Maybe Demon's just not for this matchup. You know, we're not going to be testing them eventually anyway. I feel like I want to maybe maximize my ways to be. He's going to mulligan harder for Relic this time. So I kind of want to maximize my ways to maybe defeat. I mean, Explosives is just such a slow answer to Relic. I guess if he goes turn 1 Relic, I can go turn 1 Explosives. But then I'm spending my whole turn 2 just popping the Relic. That might just not be ideal. Whereas I guess Disenchant's still okay. You just need to dodge O-Stone. Yeah, I needed to dodge quite a few things. So we've got 4 slots. How do we want to maneuver this? Do we want a token generation and the demons as the last slots? Do we want to just run the 3 Jace? He was solid last game. We flipped him despite Relic. Opponent just greedily let me flip Jace. I mean, the fact that I've cut this many, we've cut so many discard outlets, like 5. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8 discard outlets down. That's too many discard outlets gone. Right, we still have to run the Jace. We still have to have discard outlets. Like it just won't work without some amount of discard outlet. I imagine there might even be Thought-Knot Seer for my opponent. Maybe Kuro has added value again. You're looking at Campbell? You like Campbell? Huh. Yeah, I mean they do cycle eggs pretty aggressively. Give me 1 demon. So we'll see if we regret not bringing in something. Like the Explosives, for example. It's probably my slowest answer, though. It is technically an answer for... oh, that's tempting. We're on the draw. This hand isn't just tempting due to Stony. Like, this hand is tempting because I have a Thoughtseize for him, and then I have a Thoughtseize actually for myself. I think on the draw we maybe keep this. Like, turn 1 Thoughtseize into turn 2 Stony is possible because we're on the draw. And I added another land to the mana base. So what, we got 19 more lands to draw to. There's 53 cards left in the deck. We can do the math on that. Let's see. Let's do the math on that. 19 divided by... Yeah, so we've got almost 36% chance to just hit the second land on the next draw, and then the draw after that, it would be... If we miss on land that draw and we don't fetch, then it's going to be still 19 out of 52, which is definitely 36%, almost 37%. It is less than 40%, but yeah, you should keep. Stony does fight Relic. Yes, Stony fights Tron's primary ways of interacting with us. So I think we keep it. There's definitely a very reasonable possibility that we get screwed, especially if I fire off the Thoughtseize, I hurt our percentage to hit land. But it might be correct to still turn 1 Thoughtseize. So it's going to be more like what? It'll be more like, it's fine. Like, what is the actual outcome going to be? See, we didn't hit there. So, do we still want to do the Thoughtseize, or do we want to make sure that we hit the second land? Because our hand isn't doing anything if we don't hit the land after the fact, right? So, let's run the numbers again. So, if I fetch, then it's 18 out of 50. No, 51. 18 out of 51 is 0.3529, yada yada. Okay, so Definitely seize. I think seizing is correct. I think it just would suck if I just don't hit the... I'm actually thinking our hand is... I think it's forced for us to go godless here, actually. I think we go godless, Thoughtseize. This is our chance. Yeah. So we can take scrying. We have to consider maybe the next Thoughtseize is aimed at ourselves. Like seriously, if I don't draw land, I might just need to Thoughtseize us. Thoughtseize the Iname. We might have to. There's that force potentially. Alright, there's a relic. So now it's all on the Stony. Can Stony do it? We drew Delta. Don't have to deal myself a billion. Unless we want to be able to hardcast Bloodghast. I probably should get the island here. There's merit to... Wow, we just slammed this Stony and it's great. It should slow him down considerably. I think there's merit to making it so we can hardcast this Bloodghast. Like, I think we're trying to race him no matter what. So I'm actually just going to get the Watery Grave so we have the option to do that. Slam the Stony. You Thoughtseize away his Ulamog. He's going to crack this. He should anyway. Unless he's got a way to destroy my Stony Silence. Never not had it. Yeah, we got there. We needed it. I mean, like, our deck operates on about 2 mana. Sometimes it needs to get to the 3rd mana, but usually our deck's operating on 1 and 2 mana. Alright, so Relic down. Ooh, Stirrings, though. I mean, I'd much rather find a discard outlet than Thoughtseize myself, but we may have to do it. Like, we just get so much... Like, we just get so much going if we go for the Iname Gorios. We get 4 damage plus all the other Bloodghasts come out of our deck. Alright, Ugin. Stony, Thoughtseize your Iname, animate it, win with some Ghasts. That is a star. Yeah, so I guess we have to do it, right? Thoughtseize myself. Yeah, that is the game plan of my deck. Thoughts? Mm-hmm. Kind of just like a bad glorified dredge. We're much less like Gorios, like Esper Gorios anymore. I've definitely shifted the deck to the other side of the spectrum, where I would actually say my deck is more just like an Esper colored bad dredge deck, which is fine. It's going to get so much better when Torgar comes out. It'll be a deck that's capable of putting you to 3 turn 3. Against certain decks. I mean, it's not going to do that against all decks. There's plenty of Inquisition and Thoughtseize in the format. That they're decks that'll disrupt us. They're decks that'll path the Torgar so he only deals 10 damage. Thalnutseer? Oh, O-Stone. Okay. But the O-Stone didn't do anything. Alright, so it's very tempting to Jace, but let's just get this going before something goes wrong. Right? I guess I could end step the Iname. Is there any draw to that? I mean, Tron isn't ever on surgical. I guess I could Jace is the other line I can take here. I could just play Jace because we drew Jace. I like either... No, I know the 4 damage matters. We don't have to just put the Iname out, though. I could wait until his end step, put the Iname, we still get the 4 damage. We didn't have land drop, which is a reason to do it now. If we had land drop, I would do it now, and unfortunately I did draw a second Ghast. So the advantage to Jace is I still need a land drop for the Iname to matter. He O-Stones, he can't. Stony Silence. I actually think I'm supposed to Jace. Because my Iname doesn't do anything unless I hit land, and Jace gives us a higher chance of hitting land. Also puts one of the Ghasts. Like, if I don't have a discard outlet, this Iname is a little weak because we don't actually get 3 or more Ghasts. The goal has always been 3 or more Ghasts is where you want to be. So, yeah, 3 or more Bloodghast. We could flip Jace too. That's another option that improves my percent chance to. Okay, so here's one line I could take. We still go for the Goryo Aname right now. We get enough cards to flip Jace into the yard. Yes. Yeah, because we're going to grab bunches. And then this improves our percent chance to top deck land considerably, because now I'm not hitting a second Aname or the third Bloodghast. Say, okay. We put a Bloodghast into the graveyard. Sweet, but I did not hit the land. Did not hit the land. Risky to put the other Bloodghast in the graveyard? Potentially. His hand is Ugin, Ulamog. If he has Wormcoil, I can buy time against it with the Disenchant. So we'll just plus Jace. Nope, we need that land. This is where a Boro would come up for sure. Like I need a way to get the ghasts out of the yard. We're giving him way too much time. Way, way, way too much time. There's mine. This hand is Ugin, Ulamog, one unknown. I definitely think we potentially just Jace Thoughtseize him. I think that's where this starts. So I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent. Okay, so the thing that's happening the soonest is actually Karn, but we don't lose to Karn necessarily. We lose to Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So, very tempting to just take the Ugin, because like we can play through Karn. I mean, it's gonna suck if that's what he draws off the top is just the land to be able to play Karn. I mean, if he does get the other Tron piece, like we lose to Ugin and Ulamog, most likely. So this is a tough decision. I can Jace Thoughtseize and then Thoughtseize again. Like I can take Ugin and then if he didn't get the land anyway, we'll just take Karn or Ulamog. I think we take the Ugin first. I think we take Ugin first and then I just give up my Jace too if we hit like another Thoughtseize. Just that's our plan. Ugin's got to be the pick. I think so too. Maybe I should have serumed before we did any of that. No, I want to get the information first before I decide, but I don't think I want either of these. We have 2 land drops for the Bloodghasts. I think I bought them both. Play Shores. Yes, please. And like I could have just hardcast the other Ghast, and that might be relevant here. You know, that was my other play besides do the Thoughtseize line. Or actually, instead of Serum Visioning, I could have put this other Bloodghast into play, and he's at 16. I think that was, unless I top deck something, I think that's really greedy. Yeah, and I didn't. All right, so I think we Jace away the other thing that beats us, which, oh, no, I didn't draw, cancel, I didn't draw I don't have another Thoughtseize. So I think we give up the Jace for Serum Visions now. Thoughtseize? Path, okay. And then there was a Thoughtseize, and Demon is actually totally fine with me. After the Thoughtseize, though. Top. Let's just try to put this away, stream. This Bloodghast doesn't have haste. Let's go ahead and swing 6. But now this extra Bloodghast will have haste. Is it still correct for me to just put it in to play? Could also Goryo's Vengeance. I mean, that would just be 4 damage, and Ame isn't, she's an enabler. She's not a very fantastic. That's why I'm excited about some of the new cards coming out of Dominaria, because she's not a fantastic, just on her own, she's an enabler for other things in the deck. She's not fantastic on her own by any stretch of the imagination. I think we just play the Shores. I'm not even going to need this extra mana. No, she is 4 damage. Yeah, she is 4 damage. Yeah, right, and I need to be thinking that way. Yeah, Sans Karn, Ulamog, one unknown. But whatever it was, he didn't bother casting it. I just can't imagine I'm going to be bottlenecked on mana next turn, so I don't really feel like I need to play out this other Ghast. I mean, now I'm really wishing I'd sequenced a little bit differently 2 turns ago, because he'd be at 8 right now instead of 10. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay. I may have killed us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Reflip Jace. That doesn't work with Footsteps. None of these are good candidates for Footsteps. Like, Aname is an okay target for Footsteps initially. Like, Torgar, which hasn't been printed yet, Kuro, and Obsidat are all candidates for Footsteps, but not Jace. Jace is not a candidate for Footsteps. I can't reflip the Jace with Footsteps. I think it's just land go. Yeah, so Waste gives him Karn. But Karn is minusing because we're pressuring his life total, right? He'll absolutely Karn if he doesn't have anything better. I mean, my hope is that he goes Worm Coil again and we get to Path the Worm Coil. Consider disenchanting his O-Stone. Yeah, so he's going to go for the Karn line and he's going to try to take out a Bloodghast. That's the Karn we knew about. I mean, a line could be just send all the Bloodghasts at the Karn next turn. We're still going to have 3 Ghast. You think I should just go ahead and disenchant the O-Stone in case you were to break out of my Stony Silence? That might be a heads-up play. Hopefully he takes Stony. That might have been correct, right? For him to Karn the Stony, and then we kill off the O-Stone. I mean, it's probably still correct for me to go face, and if I'm going face, then I have to destroy this O-Stone, right? Yeah. Yeah, if I'm ignoring Karn here, which I think is the correct play... Oh, we just drew a Thoughtseize so we can get the perfect information now. So what's actually going on? It's just another Karn is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So unless he hits exactly the Tron piece, Ulamog's not the concern. It's him going minus Karn. It's actually the concern here. So my hope is that that doesn't come up. Get the other Bloodghast into play. Ignore the Karn. Go face. Put him to 4. Oh, he just naturaled the Tron. Okay, we're dead. That's just too bad. I tried stream. He removes all 3 of my threats and we lose. We played hard though. Like, we tried. I mean, the last time I played against Tron with the deck, we did manage to beat them, but it wasn't meant to be. And that's okay. Like, our game 1 was just so bad. We usually beat Tron game 1. I'm surprised that our game 1 was just so crappy. What's funny about this situation is, like, I have the answer for Azulamog. So, like, there's a chance that I draw another threat, but I don't remember what other threats we left in the deck, is the thing. Like, I cut a bunch of them. Like, I know I have a demon coming off the top, but I won't be able to cast it because we didn't put in the token generators. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what our plan is to deal the last 4 damage. Missing the 4 damage from Aname. Oh, I guess I could hit him with an Aname. Yeah, I keep forgetting. We have Aname. That's true. If I draw Goryo's Vengeance, we win. Yeah, Vengeance wins. Gonna Ghost Quarter this. Okay. I don't have to path this yet. Yeah, Vengeance wins. Jace will get the Vengeance back and we win anyway. Nice, nice. Okay, we have a plan. I'm sorry, stream. I was giving up way too soon. Jace, go. So during your draw step... You're drawing Demon, though? You shuffled? I did shuffle. Thanks to his Ghost Quarter. A no stone that doesn't work. We got there. Jace MVP. Jace MVP. Yeah, we get to hit him with the Aname for Xaxes. That's hilarious. Brew forgot he top Thoughtseize Demon. Well, Zuby, no, opponent ghost quartered us, but yeah, we had another Thoughtseize coming, and I think we already used the Thougtseize, but the Demon wasn't drawn because the opponent ghost quarters us, thinking that he could have cut us on path, which is reasonable. But let's get there. Let's get there. Nice. I'm sitting here thinking we lost the match, and it's like, well, no, I like to think that our deck's a reasonable challenge for Tron. No need. Just want to hit you for 4. Huh. That's so weird. That, like, never comes up with her that I, like, care that she's still in the deck. That's funny. He probably ghost quartered you as well because you topped. Oh, yeah, truth. Well, just imagine if that was Torgar instead, though, of Demon. Anyway. Actually, it would have still been bad if it was Torgar. Torgar, the new card coming out from Dominaria. It would have still been bad, right? Because I didn't have any of the fodder. I didn't have any of the blood gas to sacrifice. So it would have been an 8 mana play. Demon would have been a truly impossible play, though, because Demon would be 9 without things to sacrifice. Yeah, we got there. Sweet. Good call, dear MC. Yeah, we still had several Vengeances or Jaces to draw to. We drew to one of our outs, which was a Jace. Jace eventually equaled a Vengeance, and we got there. Torgar would have gained him life. No, we can target ourselves, Hawkins. It's target players, so Torgar is actually super sweet for our deck because we can target ourselves to go back to 10. It's up to, so I don't have to actually target anyone. I can just say no targets. And I think it says up to, so I'm either targeting us to put us, if we're below 10, back up to 10. I'm targeting the opponent to put them from whatever they are at down to 10. Anyway, I think this hand's okay. I have no idea what we're up against, so in the dark, I probably keep this. No, the card's insane, Michael. I'm excited. Oh, Tron again? Sure, let's do it. Give me all of the Tron, actually. Let's just face Tron all day long, right? Is that really where we're at with this deck? Are we okay with that? I think it's greedy to bin Aname, and I think it's greedy to... It's probably correct to actually let go of this swamp because I don't have a reanimate just yet. So we'll take the Aname. Give us Tron all day long. Will this be my first Star City tournament? No, it will not be Dark Inferno. Not even close, my friend. It'll be my first time doing the team format, though. Dark Inferno, it will be my first time putting a team together and playing the team format. Oh, he is not what we thought he was. That is a Plains. This is Giftstron. I'm excited. It's the only Tron I can think of that plays the Plains. See if we get a different land for the turn. Crypt can be really painful sometimes. Alright, so there's the reanimate spell, but I need the Oboro as well. Awkward. That awkward moment where you're like, I need both of these things. Yeah, I mean, we should probably draw the extra land first. I mean, I would be Thoughtseizing here if we weren't running the Crypt, if this was like a different black mana source. Won't Infestation be better than Call? In some situations, yes. In other situations, not even close. It's fine. I mean, hopefully I can take something relevant with the Thoughtseize. I think it has to be Thoughtseize and not... yeah, that's fine. I mean, if I Brutality, then we're getting Aname into the graveyard and she's being more set up for the next turn, but I just don't think that's what this game's about anymore. Right, I think we have to hope to snag something juicy. Alright, so Stone, some Ballistas. Karn, of course, is probably what I have to take. We can work through Stone and the Ballistas, but Karn, unfortunately, I cannot easily work through. Yeah, I mean, this card has a real cost. This was originally just another... Well, this was originally another Crypt, so... all of our tech lands have a real cost. This is probably Ballista. Yeah, it's fine. All right, Black Mana Source. Come on, a Black Mana Source. Nope. Oh, no, we knew we were drawing Footsteps. What am I saying? Sweet Brutality. His hand is a stone. Played a Ballista. I think I just go call, say go, to be honest. Is it one card versus two? No, it's the lifelink. It's the lifelink, and I can actually... So here's the thing. You can actually shell out your cards a lot more strategically than with Infestation. Infestation, I have a lot less control over how I'm pitching, whereas I can pitch during my turn, I can pitch during the opponent's turn. I know it costs more mana, but we tried Infestation, and the problem was like we were ditching cards we actually wanted to keep. There's another matchup where we take out the Brutalities, but that's okay. Brutality's like so nice in the format that I don't mind taking out some number of them against Tron, bringing in like Stonies and stuff. He's playing a very different build though. He's got this white splash. I just don't understand what it's for. There's another Spalishta. Oh, I can't imagine we're winning this anymore, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't even show him what we're up to be honest. Like, double Ballista is probably the end, right? There's some things I can do, but I don't think I'm going to outmaneuver double Ballista and Stone. He won't let me block here for sure. He'll ping it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, another black source. Well, okay, Kuro's a way to remove these, but we'll take so much. I mean, this is not a good example of what Kuro can do. Because if I go for Kuro, yeah, I mean, I think the correct play is you footsteps the Iname, but then the opponent knows what's up. I mean, I assume they would imagine I'm some sort of, you know, reanimator nonsense between Crypt and seeing Iname and Crypt, but I'm just thinking, okay, so if we did footsteps, what would be the line? We would try to... I mean, I have to draw another reanimate spell in that case, right, and get the Obsidat back, but even Obsidat can't beat the double Ballista draw, right? So we'll go ahead and save our opponent and ourselves, and you guys out there in the internet, a lot of time. And we're just going to beat him games 2 and 3, hopefully. This is what we did against our last Tron opponent. We somehow managed to lose the first game, even though that's when I had like all of my combo in the deck, but we just didn't piece it together. Call is weak. Brutalities are weak. Pit Lord is weak. Obsidat's weak against Tron. Alright, Stonies are sweet, Needle is sweet, Paths are sweet. These are okay. And what do? We cut one Jace, I think, against Tron. No, we cut a Demon against Tron, because I'm not bringing in the token generation. Yeah, we want these, we want this. I think that's how we boarded last time, wasn't it? You're stuck on which deck to bring to Milwaukee, Humans or Eldrazi Tron? Play the more unfair deck. Whichever is your perception of unfair, play that one. Don't be fair right now. I mean, I think Modern is interesting, and it's just like, I think the only really successful fair decks is more limited than people realize. And if you're playing one of those few successful fair decks, play it. It's good. But if it's not on that short list, I mean, here I am playing a brew, so, you know, who am I to judge? But if it's not on that short list of the decks that are actually playing fair and being successful in Modern right now, don't be fair. Don't play fair, because you're going to play against Tron all day. And unless you're one of the decks on that short list of fair decks that actually handle Tron okay, I don't recommend it. I think this is how we boarded last time, so let's run back. Melee Mage is pretty unfair. Melee Mage is great if you have a way to peek at their hand first. I mean, it's good if you, of course, also know what you need to name. I'm going to look at a 6 for sure. The 6 sucks. I will look at a 5. And I'm happy to do it. I mean, I'm not happy to do it, but I will do it because those hands were trash. Alright, it's got the reanimation, but no discard outlet, no Stony, no nothing. So we're probably screwed. I think I have to keep a Jace, right? We don't have to keep the Jace because we're leading on fetch, so I may just shuffle away the Jace if we're like, it's not going to do it. Actually, I should shuffle away the Jace because we can't even cast it. I should ascribe that to the bottom looking for land, right? Like, my hand wants us to have... Like, Jace would want us to have blue mana, but, like, we need Godless Shrine. I mean, Jace is both a discard outlet and... I think we're just hoping for better stuff off the top. Nope. Friend of you is trying to talk you into playing, you mean Abzan? I'd probably take Bogles. Play Hollowed One. Go ahead. Ooh, Talisman. Okay. This is Green-White Tron. Interesting. Alright, Chart was a fine draw, I suppose, but we need some help off the top of the deck. Well, that was help. Now I just need... I actually don't need anything else. Even if we don't draw the land, we're okay. Of course I want land because I can put in Demon, but... Well, no, but he might just have a Karn, and it doesn't even matter. Right? If I put in Demon, Karn just takes away Demon. Just takes out Demon. Which is why I cut them in this matchup a little bit, if not more. I'm not that interested in the 4 damage off of Aname. Did I leave any other reanimate targets for her in? I think we cut both Obs and Pitlord, which might be wrong. We haven't played the matchup long enough, I think, to know to do such a thing. We could just hope that he doesn't have it, but of course he does, right? I mean, they always do. It's the whole reason to play the deck. Another thing we could do is I just play, or I don't play my land, I just say go. And then he slams something scary, but we Vengeance in the end step. Then I play Shizu, bring back the Blood Gas, make the Demon happen. And then we hit the Karn, if that's what he's playing, at least. And then it's hard for him to Karn to take out the Demon. I think I'm just going to pass it back and go for that line, because I think if I just do everything like during our own turn, it's just so likely that he probably has an answer. Sad Robot. Okay. Now we're playing against a very different beast. We thought it was just Green-White Tron. This is a different beast. That's a Sad Robot. That is not as scary as what I was expecting. I mean, we saw Karn's game 1. Like Thought Not Seer now? Rest in peace. Yeah, so I don't have a fetch land, so if I went for the Gorios... Yeah, that was the worry. Because I could have put the Blood Gas into play last turn, but then we're just dying to so much. So, unfortunately. This says dies, so, I mean, if we wanted to path it, we can. So that's unfortunate. Now I have to find one of our answers for Rest in Peace. Did we bring all of our answers? Most of them are in. Yeah, most of our answers to Rest in Peace are in, so... I mean, if he's trying to settle in for a long game, maybe we're still okay. None of that was a scary Planeswalker. He has a 2/2. But yeah, I mean, like, now I'm just wishing that I'd just gone for it, you know? Because, like, I would have at least had the gas in play. I mean, sure, he might have had, like, an O-Stone or an Ulamog, but there's a chance that he doesn't have it. And now I have to set the Iname up again, and I have to answer the Rest in Peace, and it's just a mess. This is why I like... I mean, cards like this are why I did, like, our previous build of having some, like, you know, tokens post board. Like if we just slammed Bitter Blossom turn 2, that might have been good enough. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's cute. This gets better when Dominaria hits because it's gonna the ruling on the card changes. That's cute. I don't know if it's good, but it's cute. Definitely is neat. Yeah, so he's gonna go grab an Ugin. Yeah. No, I can't. I don't have the tools to beat it. I mean, he did just staple an extra 5 mana and 2 white mana onto this Ugin. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but we certainly are going to lose to that Rest in Peace plus Ugin. Why will Lancers get better? They're changing how all the different legends are worded. Austin's. We actually brewed around with Lancers the other day. We were doing some nonsense with the new Moxen that's coming out. I guess we lose. All right. Well, note to self: green, white, Rest in Peace, Thalia's, Lancers, Tron is the antithesis of our deck, and I think that's okay. All right, well, that sucks. What happens? All right, we're 1-1 now. I mean, I would assume that that's going to be rough, right? Because he's got all the normal tools that Tron normally has, but he's just apparently hedged into white for reasons. So it's like I have to fight the normal hate that Tron will have, plus Rest in Peace. I'm not. I mean, hopefully you guys know I never said Tron was a good matchup. But I think it's doable. We just demonstrated that like 2 minutes ago. We managed to take out Tron, despite things going wrong. But no, I mean, I'll scoop him up. Can't beat that. That's okay. I don't think that that's the version of Tron that I'm going to most likely face at the Baltimore, and I'm thankful for that. I think that Tron already has some tools that are tough for us, and then to put on top of that list also Rest in Pieces, that seems tough. So I'm thankful that that's not the popular variant of Tron. I can't remember exactly what it was, Austin's, but we were talking about it. To be honest, my friend, I can't remember exactly what it was. All right, so we have a discard outlet, so we obviously will Thoughtseize the opponent. Bloodstain does nothing. Okay. Could be a few different decks. Bloodstain do nothing. So most of those decks I would want to Thoughtseize here against anyway. Yeah, new changes for sure. New changes. You'd probably like Austin's. Okay, we're up against GDS. Zigrixis of Shadows. The only card I really care about is Stubby. I don't really care about anything else. I mean, we will care about the other things, but not as much as I care about a Stubborn. He's probably just going to play Angler, say go. Am I just supposed to slam Chartercourse? Like, if I don't see the reanimate threat, that might be wrong. I might want to Serum Vision's next turn stream, because if I don't actually have the thing to discard to the chart, things could be problematic. It's fine. Yeah, I may just want to Serum. So there's a Name. We'll take it. We'll bottom this. And we can use Footsteps on her instead of the Vengeance. We could save the Vengeance for like Obsidat. Obsidat's great against like a Fatal Push. I mean, you get something going and get it going soon. I mean, there's an Angler on the table. Opponent had enough stuff to delve away for the Angler to work. So he's got Push, another Angler, Command, one unknown. 2 unknown now. We'll see what we can do. One of those unknowns was a land. Yeah, I think I'm just going chart. Chart fountain tapped. Oh, drawing the blood guess there was a little disappointing. It's okay. I mean, Footsteps is another candidate for. Yeah, Footsteps is another option for Street Wraith. Okay. All right, so good that we have the redundant reanimation. So he'll probably take Vengeance, of course. It's the stronger of the two. I can at least get the Bloodghast army on the table. Next turn, I can go just Footsteps. He'll probably take Goryo's here. I go Footsteps, play land, we get back the Ghasts. Right, so his hand is K-Command, push another Angler. Okay. Puts himself to 10. Okay. So Footsteps the Iname. We know what your hand is. So that's fine. I think every life point is going to matter here. So I don't even necessarily want to go with Fetch. Planeswalkers be considered legendary. Well, I think they already changed that on Moto because we saw our opponent Lancers into an Ugin, right? I think that change at least already went into place on Magic Online, did it not? Because our opponent Lancered into an Ugin. That's what he tutored for. Alright. Yeah, we'll grab the whole bunch. The whole bunch. Do I want to just bring out the Ghasts now? Opponent's at 10, so I don't have to bring them out now. I just don't think I should do it with fetching because every life point probably matters at this point, juncture. So I'm probably just playing like the Darkslick Shores here. And then saying go, but not putting the Bloodghasts. And then I do play another land to bring out the Bloodghast and try to just meg him. I mean, we're going to need to top deck something, guys. Like, the math doesn't... So we're going to say no to these. Like, the math just doesn't add up. I don't really just want to give him a target for the K-Command, really. I hope he just K-Commands making us discard. Because we could discard the Bloodghast. He might, just because he doesn't know necessarily what we're up to. He might suspect that my hand is a 4th Bloodghast because I only put 3. Although, earlier iterations of this deck actually only ran the 3 just as an enabler for things like Demon. So, we'll see. But yeah, opponent's low enough that I don't need to put the gas into play immediately. No, I mean, he got that Angler on the table tremendously quick. I mean, that's the power of Thought Scour. The power of Thought Scour is cards like Angler, is cards like Tazagur in Modern. That's the way that you make these cards so very, very powerful. They come down. I mean, imagine if the Angler had come down even one turn later, right? If that Angler had happened one turn more slowly, right? If I was on the play and I could have taken the Thought Scour, which I probably would have, because it enabled the anglers to be played, it could have changed everything, right? If we'd won the dice roll. That's probably what we would take. Yeah, so unfortunately we're just dead here. But I'll do our thing because it's fun. Now, the graveyard hate that Grixis Death Shadow employs is more akin to Spellbomb. Now, if I had something like a Brutality here, it would change the math. An opponent might need to consider commanding a gas token, and then I would follow up with, finish you off with Brutality, but we didn't draw one. Is going to Fatal Push one? Okay. It's dead. mean, he's playing it out. He's respecting that I could have something weird, so I appreciate that. I mean, I need to act as if I have something like another Goryo's Vengeance, really. No, I mean, the angler just came down really soon. That was really the story of the game. And that's why Grixis Death Shadow and some of these other angler Tazagor decks exist. It's the power of Thought Scour. It's the power of being able to cycle through your deck. You know, Street Wraith is also part of that equation. So what are the tools that we want, right? So I'm excited we're playing like a different something. Like we just fought Monotron for a moment. So what are the tools? How are they fighting us? Right? Favor is hilarious in this matchup. It's not where we want to be at all. Bitter Blossom seems cool. Explosives is interesting. Explosives hits both Shadow and also Nile Spellbomb. Needle hits Spellbomb without also splash damage on our explosives, whereas Stony, although this is technically an answer, you're going to have some splash damage. They're going to be trying to interact with us with spells as well, so like maybe we want the Dispel. I wouldn't want Favor to fight their removal, but Dispel's flexible in that spot, that area. Kambal is interesting because they just have a lot of cantrips. Needle is okay. They have Liliana afterboard, potentially. Don't really want these other tools. So those are the 7 I would consider. Crow's weak here. Demon isn't, but I have to have enough life points, and this is where the new card from Dominaria is just going to be so much better. I hate to keep bringing that card up. I know you guys are, probably like at this point, BrewSpy, you're such a broken record, but the card will be sweet. I mean, Obsidat's okay. It's just their creatures are big enough that they can trump Obsidat, so I'm not even that excited about him. I think Combo's kind of cute. We can't really go crazy with Jace in this matchup. They have a little bit too much to fight over Jace with. Not that Jace isn't strong, it's just that's the nature of it. So like how many answers am I actually even running though for the spell bombs? Just 2? That seems like not enough. Seems like not enough. I would probably cut a Footsteps. I'd probably cut 1 Aname. And then I either run the Cabal anyway, or I run more answers to the... I mean, if we want the most efficient answer, it's going to be Fragmentize. If we want like the most mana efficient answer for something like Nile Spell Bombs, it's easily Fragmentize. So I could run like 1. What does the new card do? Puts a player at 10. So we can do it to ourselves, we can do it to the opponent. Maybe even just cut 1 more Footstep. I'm much less excited about my reanimate spells when I've cut like so many of our targets, right? Kuro got cut, Obs got cut, Jace's got cut. It's probably wrong to cut that many Jace. You know what we should do? Let's swap out the Footsteps entirely. Just because I think the instant speed is so very important. Let's run a couple Jace. Let's run the extra frag, and let's run it like this. I think Brutality's still fine in this matchup. It's okay. I think actually we'll have a little bit more time to sideboard after board. After next game, if we win it. I'm thinking maybe we want to cut a Brutality or 2. This is not a keep. This is okay. Like this hand has both Shadow or Spell Bomb answered via Explosives, so like I could take a different card with the Thoughtseize. I'll keep. Now, unless we really want this card, I still think I should go for the turn 1 Seas. So that's the name of the game. I mean, like I could even just get the Explosives out there, because they usually have double discard. Like it might be correct for me to just go, like we could have kept the Path on top and I shocked myself on Fountain, put the Engineered Explosives in, because it needs to be on 1 in this matchup. But I'll just Thoughtseize. We'll see if that's okay. I mean, we may need to use this Thoughtseize on my own Aname, so see. I think I will just Thoughtseize though. Opponent mulligan, so it's very tempting to do. What do you think of the new card, Val? Alright, so this Shadow, but that's answered with the Explosives. I think I just take the Scour because it makes, like, the Angler not work anymore. Feels fine. Delta go. It's always good to see. Alright, probably just Fountain tapped. Go. It might be correct for me to put the Explosives out on one. He says he was watching our show last night. Seems interesting though, Inferno. Druidic Vow. I do, Michael, as far as like the body on him, that is like the weakest part of the card. Oh, that's unfortunate. Take my Iname. He's going to take the Explosives for sure. Not a bad rip opponent, because that Thoughtseize is so good in their deck because it's an enabler for the shadows. Yeah, Fetch Shock, that'll allow him to put Shadow actually into play here. Just insane, so good, the synergies, the synergies! Yeah, and I'm punished for not just putting it into play. I could have just put the I mean, we knew that we wanted to set the Explosives to 1 anyways, and he never had the mana for the K command, so that's okay. We'll learn. Oop. All right. Well, I gotta get one of these in the yard, so feels so wrong, but this at least gives me the top deck of Vengeance to get us going. But at the end of the day, I still need to draw the. Well, actually, I don't. Right, so if we're only taking another 1 damage, if I just rip Goryo's off the top, we Goryo's this Iname, and then I put Demon into play, and Demon outclasses at least the Shadow for now. But I'm going to be going really, really low, and that's where Demon's just so much weaker, you know? Oh, and he sees that, and he knows. Unfortunate. He's just trying to put pressure. So he's going to deal a little bit more damage now. A lot more damage now. So now, like, Demon just doesn't even seem like a thing anymore. And that's the issue with the card, right? If this was Torgar, granted I would need 2 black mana to do Torgar through the Bloodghasts. But, you know, if this was Torgar, that's not an issue. But now we're facing down an Angler as well. I was probably greedy with what I took with my C's. I'm probably just supposed to take the Angler or the Shadow. Or no. The thing we were supposed to do was play the Explosives on 1 because he didn't yet have nearly enough mana for the K command. And then there's no Shadow. And then, yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about the Angler with our Thoughtseize, but. Alright, sure. That's not going to do it. Yeah, I think I could have done both of those things differently. And see, we did end up finding a different discard outlet. So I think it was a mistake the way we spent the Thoughtseize. It's so hard sometimes with this deck to know where it needs to go, when it needs to go, like when I need to cast it, when I need to use it on ourselves potentially. And things just didn't go smoothly for us there, and that's okay. All right, let me catch up on chat. All right, Dex, what's the advantage? Nothing, Judge. I'm playing cards that I own in paper. Traded my playset of Gorios for Flip Jace for Ensnaring Bridge, bunch of expensive cards. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's no advantage, Judge Siwi. I'm basically playing like a worse Dredge, I guess. I don't know. It's just fun to brew. I win with it. I lose with it. I laugh and enjoy myself, enjoy Magic, enjoy life. And this is, you know, maybe what I'll take to the tournament. I don't know. Does it matter? I mean, I want to bring a brew, and the joke I have with my friends is that they're just going to carry me because they're really solid standard and legacy players, and then I'm just going to have fun is kind of the goal. I mean, I know deep down that they hope that I bring something a little bit more competitive than this, but like at the end of the day, I want to brew and I want to try to get a deck tech. So I don't really care if the deck works as powerfully as we imagine. I will tell you this though, the deck gets a lot stronger after Torgar gets introduced to the deck as the top end. For those of you, I know we keep talking about the card and I haven't shown you it. Let me pull it up on the Mythic spoiler. Appreciate that follow. Dark Inferno, thank you for hitting that button. I'll pull up a new card that's going to make this deck potentially insane. And insane, I mean by putting my opponent to 3 life before turn 4 in Modern, which is kind of stupid. Not good, it's stupid, right? It's stupid in that it's interesting, it's stupid in that it's disruptible. There are plenty of like fun disruptible decks you can play in Modern. That's the point. All right, so let's see. All right, so Torgar. So why is this interesting for our deck? So as additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. Okay. So we could go back to playing Lingering Souls. We can continue to play the Bloodghast. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. Oh, cool. Well, now this thing doesn't cost 8 mana. It costs maybe 2 black mana. When Torgar Famine Incarnate... Oh, wait, he's legendary. Oh, he's so much better for our deck, right? Because we have things like this. Oh, interesting. And now maybe you guys see things come together and you see why I'm jokingly saying we could put our opponents to 3 life by turn 3. That's why I play Legacy Burn. Not because it's good. See? Yeah, you got to play what you love. All right, when Torgar Famine Incarnate enters the battlefield, up to 1 target player. Okay, so we could target ourselves. Life's total becomes half their starting life total. Well, that's great for things like Bloodghast, right? Interesting, right? Interesting. So you took my Serum Visions. It's fine. Grave go. Why don't you go Bloodghast, land drop 7/6? Yeah. How will team constructed work? Okay, that's a great question, Dark Inferno. So I'm going to be at the same table as my teammates. So I'm going to have, you know, Duncan on my left, Patrick on my right? Patrick's going to be our legacy specialist. He's going to be jamming something very, very well positioned in the meta. I'm not going to reveal his deck. And then Duncan is going to be our standard specialist. He's going to be playing something else that's also ideally meted well for the format. And then I'm going to be playing some sort of crazy out of left field comp. I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be this deck. We will see. But I'm going to be playing something like totally out of left field. Hopefully, you know, gain some percentage points. Definitely see this guy in here. Me too, MTG Judge, for sure. All right, Overgrown Tomb, go. Okay. Am I just going to naturally discard the Iname? Like, is that the line? Or am I just putting this Bloodghast into play? That seems weak. I'm at 6 cards. 2 draws. Or sorry, 3 draws. 3 draws and I don't see a discard outlet. We'll be really glad that we didn't play land here. What are the odds that I'm going to get a discard outlet? This is something that I've been thinking about for a while, by the way. So we have 1, 2, 3. This is just main board talk. 1, 2, 3. Like, what are the redraws, right? It's Serum Visions, but that doesn't even necessarily hit a discard outlet. These are all discard outlets, but Jace probably just dies in this matchup since he went green source. So what are the redraws? It's going to be... Yeah, I haven't hit any Thoughtseizes yet. So it's -1 Visions. So it's like 19 cards. That's a lot of cards. That's a third of my deck is a redraw, at least, like the other serums. I still think it's correct, though, for us to try to do a natural discard. Despite looking at that sheer amount of, wow, I mean, that's a lot, right? We could even just put pressure. Like, we could just play out the Bloodghast, you know? I don't need white mana game 1, generally speaking. So it might be correct for me to just play Bloodghast, say go. I think the problem is I'm just not doing anything powerful if I don't hit this part of the deck. And it's a big chunk of the deck for a reason. Like, this is the reason. Like, we're playing like a really bad Reanimator Dredge thing. Thinking. Yeah, we're going to go for natural discard. It's really that bad, I think. I don't think the Bloodghast is the right play. No. He's got hand hate. Like, we're never going to make it to the natural discard. Let's just put the Ghast in play and just move on. And if it doesn't come together, it wasn't meant to be. That's what we get for playing something wonderful and fragile and awesome and terrible, right? That is our punishment. Fatal push. Yep, he's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. Bad feeling that Demon Lord, what? It's going to be good in some sort of bad combo. I don't remember what the card does. It's fun looking at spoilers with you guys. Was he multicolored? Demon Lord? Oh, there he is. Huh, repeat this process. Interesting. Tireless? Okay. A la Todd Stevens style of Serum Visions. That's a redraw. Will we find the discard outlet? Well, none of these are that, so bottom. Crypt, bring back Ghast, say go. If I can get a Name off, that's plus a lot of mana. It's plus, at this point, it would be plus 1, 2, 3. Crow's in hand, so Crow doesn't count. It would be plus. This Name doesn't count because it's going to be a Vengeance. No blocks, obviously. 3 Ghast. Be plus 7 mana. It's not bad. It's not as much as it possibly could be. Like the most we've gotten out of it is like 8 or 9 off of the Crypt. Didn't play land. I drew land. Okay. Just gonna meg him for 2 here. Don't think I want to play the land. I mean, like, maybe he only has a light bit of... Well, okay, if he didn't make a proactive play, what's he sitting on? He's sitting on another piece of removal, right? Is he just going to keep spending them on the Ghast? Like, is that the solution here? Doesn't seem like a good long-term solution. Looking forward to Fire Song, Sunspeaker. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff out of Dominaria that's related to EDH. I mean, we were brewing a deck with the new Moxen the other day for Modern. Like, here's the thing, if you guys want like a hint of what I'll probably play at the tournament, it's either going to be like a Mox Amber deck or it could be a Torgar deck. It's probably what I play. It might even be like Aristocrats Torgar. Like, I'm considering pre-ordering the card and trying to brew around it. So if you want a hint at what I'm looking to play at the tournament, something a little bit busted, something doing something at least a little bit unfair. I think I just pass it back. This land drop has a lot of value. I mean, even before fetching, like this represents bringing back Bloodghasts twice. So, yep, and I'm punished for not playing out the Delta because I could have brought the Bloodghast back sooner. Oh, I would assume his deck is on Scavenging Oozes easily, so we may just lose that Bloodghast now. What's up, Patches? Why don't you just build Modern Wizards? It's a good idea. Yeah, build Modern Wizards. I'm just going to leave Torgar up because I keep referring to him tonight. I'm going to be talking about this card a lot. Every time we play this deck for forever. Until the card comes out, we're going to be talking about this card. Where is he? Did I just miss it? No, didn't go far enough. There we go. Card is sweet. Yeah, no, I'm sad I didn't play out the Delta because I could have gotten the Bloodghast back immediately. And now we might lose it to like a Scavenging Ooze. Not the ooze! You know what they say, you ooze, you lose. So, we're in trouble, boys. Yep. How did I know he had an ooze in his hand, right? I just knew. I should have played the Delta 100,000%. So. Okay. Yeah, but see, I'd be attacking here. And there's no other creature in the yard. Opponent didn't grab the Bloodghast there because I could have just cracked the fetch, so. No, this is just very sad. I even Serum Vision bottomed both of those cards and we just haven't found Just haven't found a discard outlet. And now there's an ooze on the table. And I mean, I have some main board ways to deal with ooze, as long as it doesn't grow beyond 2/2 status. Another Bloodghast. But I think we're just gonna get beat down. We just never cobbled together our and like that's the thing is it's like, well, why does Reanimator work in some like a format like why isn't there like a Reanimator deck in Modern? Well, it's like a 2-card combo. It's hard. Unless you're like Griselbrand where they get to dedicate a lot more slots to it. There really are very few true Reanimator decks in the format. And there's reason for it. It's A plus B. I need to be able to put the thing into the graveyard. I need to dodge decks that have mainboard Relic and mainboard Ooze, so your Trons and your Scavenging Ooze decks. And there's plenty of them. There's a lot of people jamming... Ooh, that's not good. Response. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people jamming Ooze decks. There's a lot of people jamming Relic of Progenitus, so it just may not be a smart call. That's okay. Still like the deck regardless. No, I want my Ooze. I want my Bloodghast back, bro. No, thank you. I mean, even if we're losing, I want to show you guys how the deck works. Or doesn't work. Yeah, so he's on a variant of... I figured he might be a variant of Jund. I was very suspicious that he had like 3 cards in hand and wasn't actually casting them, so this should be a Bloodbraid Elf. Mainboard Spellbomb? Holy crap. Okay. This guy does not like losing to Dredge. Okay. Well, back against the wall. Do we just go transformational sideboard? This guy's just like all into the... I'm just going to go full transform here. I'm just not even going to bother with the Reanimator. Whatever. Opponent's on like a million Graveyard Hate cards in his main board. I'm sure he has more after board. He's just one of those players. He just does not like losing to Dredge decks. I understand it. I don't like losing to it either. I understand. Or I can understand that attitude. But I'm just going to take out the Reanimator part, right? Can we really do that anymore? I guess I cut a lot of like our transformational sideboard though. Right? Like, I would need several Bitter Blossoms. And that's the cool thing about Torgar, by the way. Just like Demon, like, both Torgar and Demon don't need us to have our working graveyard to work. Which is excellent. I have to run some of the Reanimator package, though, in this new build. Like, we can't go full... It's not like I can sideboard into, like, Lingering Souls and Mentors, which is really nice to be able to do in some instances. I guess Needle's okay. God, that was a lot. That was a lot of Grave Hate. Mainboard Bomb and Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Ghasts still work alright. They're not amazing. Maybe still run the Vengeances because at least they work with Jace. And I'm still running Jace and they work with Obsdat and I'm still running Obsdat. Maybe still run some number of these. Combo seems interesting, but probably not good. And see, that's the thing. I still have 4 slots, so it's like, well, what are you doing? Like, why not still just run the Reanimator? Well, because I'm trying to get away from it because my opponent's running a million. He's probably going to be like the kind of guy that has like Leyline after board, right? Isn't that like the kind of opponent we're up against? He's going to be like trying to Leyline me after board. It's probably going to be just like Echoing Truth's flexible. Can bounce a Leyline, can buy time. Seems flexible enough that it's okay. Kuro wipes a board. See, I'm not interested in just like... I know this is like the core of our Game 1 strategy, but I think I'm interested in trying to play a little bit more fair. Maybe that's just the wrong attitude entirely, right? It's just like Favor's tempting. Maybe 1 Footsteps. I'm going to run a frag. Just trying to predict how much yard hate we're about to face and how much my opponent's going to mulligan to keep it. He kept the 7, so that's scary. Bye-bye Bitter Blossom. I'll hold up. Yeah, we already have all the mana we should need. So, bottom. If he doesn't take Bitter Blossom, he's a madman, right? And this is where I like having multiples of the card. When we were initial testing of Bitter, we had just 2 in the sideboard. Not that I would go to more than 2, but I'm sad like for matchups like this that I don't have the extra bitters. Yeah, he takes it. Unfortunate. Bloodgaste. Blood nasty gast. Alright, let's do it. Go. Excited to see what I do with the new stuff. We'll see, Michael. I mean, like we had a couple of brews from new cards. I think there's a lot of sweet stuff from Dominaria. It's definitely a big set for older formats, which is exciting. So sad. Our Bitter Blossom. So bitter. So bloss. So gone. Could have been great. Sure, it's fine. I've taken out most of my reanimator. I guess it still will trade with the Ghast eventually, which makes me sad. God, this card's so great. This is an excellent inclusion. Hope that his hand isn't much more than that bomb, though. That is the hope. Definitely play out this fetch. Well, I could take out the Spell Bomb. I want to attack first. I could take out the Spell Bomb. So he would need like removal spell here for this to be a blowout for us. And he wouldn't get the card draw off the Spell Bomb either. Alright, so with that on the stack, I pop off his Spell Bomb. That's why we brought in the explosives, because it's flexible, it could kill everything from a Goyf to a Spell Bomb. He's going to crack it and Meg, you know, a couple of cards from my yard, but that's only really problematic for maybe just me flipping a Jace. It's not the end of the world. Tracker. It's a good candidate for brutality. This game just might not be at all about vengeance, you know? Like, we have so much setup that we have to do. I almost would rather just have the land to keep getting the Bloodghast back. I'm going to go ahead and make that decision for us, stream. And that's okay. Kill your thing, take a card. Ditch the vengeance. When it's not about the card, it's not about the card, and that's okay. I left it in because it has some synergies still inherent to the deck, like Jace and Obsidat. Doesn't hit anything. Ew, Calatus too? Good lord. This guy just loves his Grave Hate cards. Let's see. Ooze, Calatus, mainboard Spellbomb, mainboard Ooze. I was just like, okay. Okay. Just was not meant to be. Just was, he must have fought Dredge one too many times and was just like, I'm so angry. I'm gonna put all these cards in my deck so I can at least beat Dredge. I like it. It's unfortunate for us, but I like it. It's something I would do, right? I would build Jund and then get frustrated like losing to Dredge 5 times and like shove Calatus and Ooze and Spellbomb into my main board. That's something I would maybe do. I don't think it's correct, but I could see that happening to me. So I get to path the ooze. Alright, so these are both in play. Yeah, I just don't know how I mean, like, this would have been such a different... Like, if we had gotten the blood... If we had stuck the Bitter Blossom, this could be a different game, but it's just a non-game, right? Because, like, I can answer the ooze, but I can't answer the... Oh, I can answer the ooze. Cool. Yeah, so we needle Scavenging Ooze. And then I can path the Calidus. So we have a line. We have a possibility. So hateful. Both of our sideboards, right? So we just attack here. Maybe he trades. Maybe he doesn't. Don't really care either way. My thoughts on goblins. They need more printings, Michael. My buddy Patrick is going to build it, potentially. A Modern Goblins with the Skirk Prospector combo. That's the only piece of the combo that's still not... Oh my god, another Bloodbraid? Sure. You got it, man. Yeah, note to self. Don't play against... Just dodge the Jund players that are jamming multiple oozes, bombs in their main board, and then after board have more cards like Calidus. Note to self. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's unfortunate. Note to self, don't plan to play... I mean, that was the whole reason we constructed the sideboard the way that we did. I was supposed to cut the things like the Bitter Blossom and stuff because I'm not supposed to try to cop out of the combo, and I did. I did. That was a mistake. Should have stayed calm and stayed combo. That's our motto, stream. Stay calm and stay combo. Otherwise, you'll, you know, be a mediocre deck. All right, let's do one more. God, this started off so great. We smashed Tron, and then we got smashed by Tron. And like now I'm losing to interesting... Not interesting deck choice decks, but I'm losing to interesting mainboard choices decks, and that's okay. But they get to clean house with decks like ours that we're still like in the brewing stages of, or in the there we go. That's a little bit easier to see. And still in the brewing stages of, right? Still a prototype, so we'll certainly get preyed upon by interesting card choices. Because a lot of the card choices we've made in this prototype have to do with me just looking at, you know, things like MTG Goldfish, and no, I don't think that's a great way to construct your deck. It's information, but it's not a great way to construct. Why don't you just build Smallpox? Oh, like, yeah. That would be another deck I would play. I would absolutely build like a Smallpox Bloodghast deck for sure. Flagstones, Liliana, I'm in. I actually think that a Smallpox deck could be really well positioned. Because you get some of the same angle, like you run a lot of hand hate, so you got like a similar angle as the rack, but then you still get some of the powerful tools that white gives you. Whilst having, I mean, that's definitely a better Bloodghast deck than we are, I would say. No, add Smallpox to this deck. Just try to go slower. I like Smallpox. We're in the colors for it, right? Well, that's where it gets dicey. Like, so you want to run Flagstones. Seems difficult. I mean, this could have been a Mold 4, actually. I mean, the basic planes does not facilitate this hand, so... Probably takes my Serum Visions, but that depends on what he's on. Good taste in Watery Grave. See a lot of players go budget and they just grab the, he grabs Muffled Seas. Ooh, that was a good draw. Back in. I think it's greedy not to take the swamp. I think that's a little greedy to not take the swamp. Bottom top. Little greedy to not take swamp. A little bit. Some sort of Espa. Control. Interesting. You want to counter this? Oh, Obsidat's great in this situation. Oops, I meant to play out my swamp though. Whoops. Did mean to play the swamp. That's a-okay, I suppose. You want a brutality, or do you want a brutality? Yeah, I meant to play one of my brutalities there, stream. My apologies. Would have been quite good. Yeah, some sort of Esper control. I like it. Interesting. Whoops, that was not the modes I meant to do. Not even close. Lol. Oh, is he just going to counter it anyway? He shouldn't have. I clicked the wrong mode. That's funny. He should have let that go. That was a misclick on my part. Punt. Oh, that's funny. He might try to Field of Ruin here. Esper Charm? Okay. Well, Obsidat's where we needed him to be. That's funny. Alright, we top deck a Reanimator spell. We are in business. I mean, it's like funny, like in a sad way. Oh, well, phew, there we go. That's funny. Oh, he probably has Path, so... I mean, I hope he has Fatal Push. My hope is that it's a Fatal Push, not a Path. Go ahead and click the correct way. It's at least not punt on that. He's at 6. Ghasts are turned on. I need another black source, though. I mean, our Mold of 5? Mold of 4? No, it was a Mold of 5. Our Mold of 5 might actually get there. He needs to have an answer. Thought Scours himself. Okay. Yeah, he needs to have the answer here. We're going to put him to 2 whether or not he paths the Obsidat. But that's my bad. I'm assuming this is a path. Yeah, that's my bad because I could have prevented this. If I had resolved my brutality correctly, we could have taken the path out of his hand. So that is my bad, stream. Ooh. Well, we need another target, though. All right, go. Yeah, I mean, that's my bad. Like, we could have facilitated that a lot more smoothly. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of things that could have gone differently. And that's also where Torgar, we're planning for this to become Torgar. Now we would have something in the yard to reanimate. Torgar is not Demon, and Demon is not Torgar. They are very different. I mean, opponents resolved 2 Esper Charms, so I imagine we're screwed. There goes a Jace. I imagine that I'm screwed. I imagine that the Call the Bloodline won't resolve. Souls. Oh, this is like the thing we brewed the other day, actually, what we're playing against here. Yeah. Build like a grindy Esper mid-range that tries to body block for Jace. I'm into it. Hopefully this doesn't get spell snared. You have the spell snare? Is that your last card? Nope. Okay. I mean, it's going to take me years to work through these spirits, though, is the problem. So opponent's at 3, but they're drawing live potentially to Jaces, etc., and we're just going to get put away. We'll see, though. I'm not giving up complete hope. We had a nice sequence of double Charter Course into at least one action card. So we can make a vampire at the end of the turn. He just swings out. I like it. Sure. Make a dude. What if this was Zombie Infestation instead? This is where you'll see this be quite a bit nicer, hopefully. If it was Infestation, I wouldn't have been able to make a token whatsoever. We can activate this once during our own turn, once during the opponent's turn. Put it to 2, ideally. What do you got? That goes to 2. Snap Esper Charm. Yep, that should put the game away for sure. That should put the game away. I mean, like, he's dead to the 4th Brutality off the top of our deck. He's in trouble to... Well, if I don't keep this Watery Grave, then the Blood Gas won't really matter. He's going to go after my land? Okay. No, I'm just running one of each basic, so that's okay. I want Esper Control to be things so badly. Yeah, me too. No, we were jamming on this for weeks. If you want to see my lists, I have a bunch of them still. We tried a bunch of different... Here. You guys are always welcome to use my deck lists. There you go. If you want to look at some of the ways we were... What's he doing with this one? I'm assuming it's draw 2. It'd be weird if it was anything else, right? I still plan to make the vampire in his end step. Jace sucks. Right, and that's the thing, is it's like you can build like a really, really grindy Esper that's trying to body block for Jace, and like what we discovered was the shell just wasn't strong enough in and of itself. So it's like, you know, you can throw Jace onto a bunch of different ideas and hope that it sticks, but it's like at the end of the day, if what you're throwing him into isn't strong enough, it doesn't matter. I don't like how he doesn't math that at all. There must be something else that's coming down for him not to care about the knight that I'm about to make. It should be like another Lingering Souls is probably what it is. Imagine it's the second Lingering. Yep, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it is what it is. Our clock is a little higher than his, so we definitely play this out. But unfortunate that we just didn't do our thing. And part of it was my own mistake, though. Like, I misclicked on a Brutality that was very important to be correct. And this is where Torgar would be nuts. Right here. But instead, we're stuck with Demon for the next 2 months? The next month or so? Yeah, Dominaria does not hit for a while. And, like, this is where I could try to go for it, right? Well, not exactly. He would have a chump block for Torgar, so... All of the blocks. So many blocks. Sure. I'll gain 2. No, he doesn't have trample. That's true. I guess Torgar wouldn't be the nuts. I mean, opponent's not leaving back any spirits, it seems. Looks like he's trying to get aggressive with his dudes. But, I mean, at least we'd have a legendary target. I mean, even if what it was just putting us back up to 10 life, I mean, that's more significant than what Demon would ever do, you know? Ooh, I like Makeshift Mannequin. I just don't think I'm getting to 4 mana very easily. Yeah, we're so toast. That's okay. We tried. At this point, I want to see more out of the opponent's deck. So every turn that I can buy that lets us see more cards is ideal. Alright, so he's on 3, maybe even 4 Lingering Souls. Good to know. When we stay calm and we combo, I mean, opponent's not going to be on Rest in Peace. So just as far as like how we board, this Thoughtseize will give us a little bit more information. I have to take the Thoughtseize, unfortunately. If I block with Knight, we're dead. If I don't block with Knight, we're dead. We're dead, or we're dead. So I'm going to go with we're dead. If that demon had trample, would you win? This is not legendary. I was not able to reanimate it. And that's the problem with demon, whereas, like, the cool thing about... We're going to talk about this card a lot tonight. Cool thing about Torgar is he's also legendary. So not only is he easy to cheat out, whereas demon it's difficult because demon and I have to spend 6 life points. Whereas for him, we just sacrifice the blood gas and he comes into play. For the nice low cost of probably 2 black mana, I can't do that with demon. Demon is you sacrifice 3 black creatures. Now we're taking the Snapcaster with us. But we're up a minute on clock, so that's good. Nope. Alright, so like a grindy Espa control. I don't know what kind of graveyard hate he's going to employ. I would assume it's Pithy Needleable. I would assume it's like Spell Bombs, right? Needle also hits Jace, so it's got that dual function. That's why I like the Needle on the board, even just one. Bitter Blossom seems sweet. It's about all I want, right? Obs is just too fair, and like the fact that we fudged our brutalities meant that he got to keep that path. And that was the only path in his hand. That's the really sad part. Yeah, that was the only... It was the only path he had. Actually, we do very light sideboarding. I don't think he's going to have a ton of yard hate. I mean, it'll probably be exactly what I just said, which is most likely Spell Bombs. But, I think we stay calm and stay combo. I cut like 8 footsteps, though. I mean, if this is Torgar, I'd leave in both, but I just don't see the point. Okay. Spell Bombs, maybe Leyline. I could see Leyline. I could see him being into Leyline. This is probably a mull. Just doesn't get enough going. Let's look for a nicer 6. Oh, let's look for a playable 5. Yep, there's a playable 5. I think we do want to turn 1 to C's. Just annihilate my life totals. No big deal. No big deal. Alright, so we take the negate. Try to maneuver through the rest of this wonderful nonsense. I mean, this is what we were trying to do like a month ago when Jace was first announced. I don't blame my opponent for trying to find an Esper shell that he fits into. So we top decked. Nice. That's unfortunate. Alright, we know about this swamp. Oh, that was a pretty good draw. Especially since we had to mull to 5. I mean, my 7 was risky. It was a 1-lander that never got off the ground. And then my 6 was no lands. My 5 was this. Opponent, just take the Vengeance, dude. Just take it. It's the correct card. He might consider taking the Visions. Okay. Alright, we play flats because we don't want to know I just drew another land. Were there any changes I would make to Esper Control version 1.3? You're looking at this one? 2 Jaces felt correct. No? I liked it. Only 1 mainboard bomb. I know I was like giving the John player we played against earlier crap for running the mainboard bomb, but it's sweet. 2 search if you have them. Felt good as well. Calidus was underwhelming. Yeah, Calidus was underwhelming. One of these Esper lists we had a really deep run with. I can't remember which one it was that I was really pleased with. It had like a 4-1. But that's the thing. Like, that's my... No offense. I mean, by all means, play it, Michael. I think the issue is that I think playing fair is a little bit tough right now just because there's a lot of Tron. The benefit, though, of Esper is you get, I think we had 2 of them in the board, is you get access to Stony Silence. There should be 2 Stonies in this build. That's what I would maybe change. And that's like a real big draw to Jeskai or Blue-White Control or even maybe Esper, is you get access to, that was the Seer Visions I saw. You get access to that. He's just going to play Souls next turn, so I'm silly. I feel silly for just casting this. It just does not do enough. And that's okay. That's not even like our deck does its thing a decent amount of the time. It's not even necessarily what our opponent's up to. It's the fact that we mulled so low and then got thought seized. Ooh. Wish that was my card right now. Ooh, does he have Goryo's in his list? Maybe that's what he did. He just mashed the Esper Goryo's deck into like an Esper control. That seems super cool. I hope that's the case. It's just going to Inquisition me. That's what I would do with a Telepath Unbound. Nope, it's just shrinking the Bloodghast. Okay. He played out this Delta, right? This is that Delta? Yeah. There's a Jace. Big Jace, little Jace. Big Jace and mini Jace. Are you doing it to me? I mean, I'll probably fetch. Bottom, don't need a fetch. Try to course seems good. We do want to be able to discard. Alright, so we bin the Iname. And we do our thing. Cool. Stay calm and combo. If I let him untap, then all sorts of terrible things happen to us. So I like going probably 2 basics here. We just do this now because it's just too likely that the opponent is going to be able to interact if we... I mean, we know he has a snap. And the Lingering Souls was something he saw on the Jace, most likely. Give me Obs, give me Pit Lord. Give me the Bloodghasts. Well, we're doing our thing. And what I thought was maybe going to be tough, like all of a sudden, maybe not. No more to search. Sounds good. And we kill... Do we ignore the Jaces? I almost think it's correct to ignore the Jaces, because I'm not killing Mind Sculptor unless I attack my opponent low enough for the Bloodghasts we're hopefully bringing out next turn to be hasted. I think we have to attack face so that the Bloodghasts have haste and are more relevant. Alright, so he's below. We have haste. Maybe it's Jace Tribal. Right, opponent's playing what you guys were hoping I was playing when I said in my title we're triple Jace. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine. We'll do what we can. He's playing Jasper. Jasper. Yeah, Jace guy. Jasper. Jasper control. Makes sense what he's done here. There's footsteps. Okay, so if I go for footsteps, opponent's probably holding up a counter here. Whereas really I just want to get... Yeah. Oh, if we hit land there, I could have gone for Demon, but Demon's no good against Mind Sculptor. So I think I ditch Demon. It's tempting to keep Demon, but I think I ditch Demon. Because Footsteps represents Obsidat. I think I ditch that, and I just try to Needle here. He should counter. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't have a counterspell for my Needle. Alright, so this will take care of Mind Sculptor, and then we just have to hit a land, right? Oops. That would have been funny. Not haha funny, like world's smallest violin funny that like Moto makes us click the wrong chase. That's just a land. Okay. I mean, he still has a pile of Lingering Souls and a Snapcaster in hand. Like, I don't like our odds, but I'm going to try. I mean, if we hit land, like, we have a lot of recursive. Actually, our best land off the top would be the Oboro, because I can keep bringing back the gas and keep trying to pressure. So just 2 spirits coming in. Put me to 10. Okay, here we go. And maybe this forces him, like, this might force the hand on the Snapcaster. Maybe not. Probably just block. Put him to 7. Souls. He really wants to sit on this Snapcaster negate really badly. I mean, we know about it, so. Yeah, his hand is snap 1 unknown. Okay, so we thought C's. This could be the game here. I mean, thankfully I have plenty of library left because his Jace could actually combo here. So unfortunate, right? So if I don't take path... Awkward. Okay, hang on. I mean, I definitely think we're taking the Snapcaster Mage, but path means it's not as simple as just grab the Obsidat. This is probably going to come down to me hitting a land drop and me footstepping the Kuro and killing his blockers. So I think I actually have to take the Snapcaster. Yeah, for sure. But it's just not as simple as I'd like it to be. Alright, we're already banking on hitting land anyway, so we're going to attack this Bloodghast into a Spirit Token. We know his hand is just path. But this isn't the turn that I go for the Kuro and hope that I can ping off all of his blockers and just win the game. Appreciate the auto-host, Cabrito Montes. That's the gentleman playing Ponza the other night that we got to play against. He did mop the floor with us. I can't remember what I was on. Goes to 5. Okay. My hope is that he goes for the Jace emblem, right? Yep, so he goes for the Jace emblem. He's going to try to mill us. Hand is path and 1 unknown. I mean, he may have just drawn, like, he might actually be on Goryo's. So, like, he may have just drawn a Goryo's Vengeance and he wants to kill off his Jace and flip it again, get it going again. It's an interesting thought. Does nothing. Okay, so we could win here with a land. And yeah, that's the game. I think anyway, right? He's at 5, so I'm going to have 8 power. Yeah, and I ping off all of his dudes. Well, that's under the pretense that his other card isn't a counterspell. I mean, I think we go for it. This is why I have Kuro in the deck. It's not just for fun. Like, it has implications. He needs to counter this. Otherwise, I ping all his blockers and kill him. He could have a Cryptic Command here. I mean, there's a lot of different cards my opponent could have that beat this. But I have to take this line, I think, and hope that it wins the game. And then we have to win, you know, even if we get there this game, like, I have to win a game... I have to win a game 3 after what we've seen from the opponent. It looks like he brought in a sideboard negate. That's all the information that we have. He has flip Jace. That's something I could hit with Needle, but that's awkward because I run my own flip Jaces. I'd much rather not do that. Actually, Before I start killing the spirits, I should go to combat. Because opponent might have Cryptic. I feel like if he had Cryptic, though, he would have... yeah, okay, he let us go to combat. So hang on, during attackers... Hang on, whoa. Face. Before we go to blocks, ping off the other two spirits. And I know a lot of people have said, like, Kuro's probably the cutest card in my deck, but I've used this so much. It's the one other spirit besides Obsidat and the Bloodghast that I just really want to keep in the list. So, what do you got? He can path one. Does he have another path? Oh, so, okay, so he had double path. Okay. I still think this is the right line. It's just going to put him to 1, and then he has to top deck. I'm going to say yes. Hey, what's up, Crawl? Yeah, so he drew another path, is what he drew. I still like the line that we took because, like, we still potentially win here. I don't bring back the other Bloodghast. I just try to kill him with the 2 that I have. So, we'll see what he drew. Snap. Okay. Snap path? Well, that doesn't do it though, because I'm just... Oh, so he's looking for a different out. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, opponent. Looking for a different out. Right, knows he needs to answer multiple gas and knows that I'm not planning on bringing back the other 2. Just trying to mill me out, maybe? Or it could just be trying to get more information because he knows he's dead. There's really no more information for me to give. I didn't really sideboard very much. Opponent saw a lot of our deck game 1. Yeah, it's good to see you, Chris. What's up, man? Do you want to see the latest version? You'd be really happy to see the latest version. That my latest version actually doesn't have very many... Oh, Dispel our draw? Yeah, most ways that he would have out of this would be dispellable, so... Not that I want to show him the dispel. I probably should have just cracked the fetch and slammed in with the... Alright. Just grinding some Pauper. Oh, what are you playing? You playing that list you were telling me about the other day? Jamming some Pauper, huh? It sounds like fun. I think we boarded okay. I wasn't like 100% in love with how I boarded. I mean, that could have been a lot easier. Like, we could have just had Favor, and then he never is able to path my things because his creatures are not high enough CMC. So, I mean, that could have been a lot easier. I'm glad we left in some footsteps. I don't know if I'm glad I left in Demon. We didn't use it. And I feel like Demon is only going to work in this matchup if I already have other good things going for us. And that's why it just doesn't amount to the other, to Torgar. It's just another reason why it just doesn't amount to Torgar. Tron with Dignitary? Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. And you're like blinking them? That's dirty. Ugh. Yeah, like a Flicker Tron? That's dirty. Well, a lot of those are flickering anyway. Flicker like Trons. You run the mnemonic wall. I think we just run it back. I mean, we're not really playing for like huge prize anymore, and we're just trying to get there. I think we have the right tools. I'm glad I left in Kuro. Sand seems fine. Like I'm actually going to keep a 7. That's great. Let's do it. God, like we won on a 5. Opponent kept a 7 and we won on a 5. That's insane, right? Flicker Marasatron. Seems sweet. Sure. Alright, so let's... Visions, but not so painfully. He also resolved 2 Jaces. Yeah, I mean, we did some stuff. Ooh, Bitter Blossom, hello. These are both sideboard cards. I don't think I can keep both because I'm probably going to fetch and lose the favor. Let's top them both. Maybe opponent, like, Thought Scours us. Be funny. I would do that if I was my opponent and I had a Thought Scour. I would do it. I'd be like, oh, he just wanted to keep both? Oh, are we going to get to resolve this Bitter Blossom? Alright. Welp. It's nice knowing you, opponent. I think I'm going to be greedy and not even get the white mana. Yet. How you like them apples? Your move. What about this? Yeah, and Mole Drifter. Ooh. Okay. We actually just lost. I'm just kidding now. We still win because I can Brutality the Mentor. And that was like the issue with Mentors. Like weird things like that would happen to my Mentor. With the Spell Bomb, I think we just ditch Pit Lord. Might be wrong. Yeah, I'm still pitching Pit Lord. Alright. That was the problem with Mentor. Like, it just didn't feel like a modern card. And I hate to say that because it's one of my favorites and I was trying to make it work. I feel like without, like, baubles and stuff to, like, get, like, value out of the Mentor immediately, unless you're running, like, a Disrupting Shoal build, it's just so hard to justify that card, you know? I don't know. Ooh, we get to draw the full value on these charter courses. Because I have a creature to attack with. Excellent. Although I have Footsteps, so like maybe that's wrong. To try to get the full value on this play. Bitter Blossom's just so dirty against like other fair decks, right? Or I should say other fair. Card is still quite good. Oh, this is brutal, but yeah, that was quite brutal. You know what? Like, I was raised in a very punny family. Like, they speak in puns. So I don't even think about it, dear MC. I'm not even like, yeah, it doesn't even cross my mind. I wasn't trying to be punny there. It just happened to be a pun. So, my apologies. Like, opponent's going to hold onto the Spell Bomb, but it's never going to matter. Right? I mean, we just don't care. He played this and this. And a Name. I just want to keep drawing the full value on these charts, right? Just want to keep drawing two. Seems good. I mean, opponent might consider snap logicking this next charter course, but I think we're okay with that. Could also just Serum. He probably doesn't counter that. That's true. We don't have to spend the chart. I mean, his best draws are like Esper Charms, so like we'll hold up the Dispel. Yeah, hand is a snap and 2 unknown. I feel like you just gotta cycle that Spellbomb at some point, right? No, we still have plenty of our Reanimator in the deck. It's definitely correct for him not to spend that just yet. And it's actually 2 a.m., so this is perfect timing. We're going to end, whether we lose or win, the stream very near future. Yeah, this Bitter Blossom, man. A Brutality. Okay. Wants to go with a Colonnade block? Okay. Sure. So, the floodgates are open for a moment. I mean, I could Goryo the Pit Lord, and then he has to pop the Spell Bomb, or I get to kill the Colonnade. That seems like not a great use of my resources, but it is technically something I can do before he can get the full value on the Spell Bomb. That's an interesting way to get him to utilize the bomb. Because I do threaten to just kill off his colonnade. I know he has another colonnade, but like cutting him on mana is relevant in the matchup. He made us let this go because this is like the weakest way I could use our reanimation. Nope, he's going to spend it. Okay. I think I'm okay with this. That might signal that he just has another graveyard hate, but I mean he'd be on 5 cards instead of 4. But now we have a little more free reign over our graveyard again. I think it's okay. Is he resolving like a Tazagur here? I would put my opponent on Tazagur because we saw Thought Scour. He might be resolving like a Delve spell right here. He tapped the... Oh no, he played the Godless tap. That's what's going on. He's not floating any mana. He's just thinking about his options. Okay. See, I just don't know if I like this because it's like I get to resolve what I want to when he goes through these colonnade blocks. You know? What is it that I want to resolve? Well, I really want to get the full value on this chart, of course. And I could discard a Bloodghast. Like I could play fetch and discard a Bloodghast here. Souls? So probably Souls. Well, now we got a game. Opponent's at 10, so I don't need to crack the fetch now. I'd rather give us a higher % chance to draw so that I could play out the obs, but he's sitting on the Logic Knot, so maybe that just doesn't matter. Yeah, I think since he's sitting on the Snap Logic Knot, I think it doesn't matter for me going for it yet. Yeah, I mean, especially since he didn't just go for full casting of the souls, it definitely hints that that's the line he's taking here. And like, if he's trying to hope that the Bitter Blossom damage is how we lose this, it has to involve me not being able to cast the Brutality. Like, this would be a spot for Brutality, potentially. Like, we Brutality away a Spirit token, opponent goes for Snap Logic, we dispel the logic. So I'm punished by fetching because I could have brought out the other ghasts here because he's below. We got. He also just doesn't seem like the kind of Esper. Like, he's got so many things that are committing to the board. There's probably not... Okay, so his plan is Path, Snap, Path. Actually, if I let that path go, that might have been correct. If I let the path go, I could have gotten all the other Bloodghast. So I actually probably should have let that go in retrospect. That's okay. I think that's okay. I mean, just because I wouldn't put my opponent on something of the sort doesn't mean it's not in his deck. Like, it may not be correct for me to bring out the Ghasts, but then again, there's the potential that he top decks something more likely, which is Spell Bomb, which we were correct is in his deck. It's hate in Esper's colors that doesn't hurt. I mean, that's something I was running in my list, so. He needs, like, Architect of Thought. Not that, like, I'm trying to help him draw that off the top of his library, but that's more so what our opponent needs here. So, I might just jam Obsidat here. There's a reasonable chance that it resolves now. We could do attacks first, though. There's a Gorios, interesting. And he's at 6. So block, block, block. Take 2. Go to 2 because you get the drain. He might just be going for a Colonnade, Animate, and block. In which case we're fine with that too, right? Because then I just resolve this anyway. The crackback is what I'm afraid of. Like him getting to enough mana, him having enough material to do more than just... Yeah, so this is fine. Unless he has drawn another Path to Exile. And I don't have to... Like, I could chart into Gorios the Obsidat instead of just the hard cast. The hard cast is tempting. Just because he could have something like Spell Snare. Like, it's more likely that here he has Spell Snare. You know? That's the more likely play from our opponent. Oh, our deck seems like a nightmare for a lot of these fair decks if we go turn 2 Bitter. Like turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Bitter Blossom seems rough. So he's going to be facing Obsidat. Yeah, we got there. Well, we got our points. All right, how many looters or enablers do we run? I cut some after board, I think, right? I'm still on a bitter, yeah. I don't want to buy it in paper, though, Chris. Like, here's the real card that needs to come out for my deck, Chris. More exciting than Grizzlebrand, more exciting than Obsidat. Look at this new card, Chris. Control decks don't beat turn 2 bitter. No, they really don't. Yeah, it might have been bad for me if I'd gone for the Demon. I don't think it would have been bad for me to go for a Torgar, but it might have been bad for me to go for the Demon. So I'm really excited about this reveal from Dominaria. Back in the day, Bitter Blossom could be great. Look at this card for our deck, Chris. It's a Goryo target. It doesn't even need to be Vengeanced, right? It just needs to be either Footsteps or Gorios. It's 10 damage. I can sacrifice my Ghasts, or I could play like Lingering Souls to get him out. This card seems super cool. Anyway. I'm just excited when I get to upgrade for... Actually, Chris, you haven't seen the Demon build yet, have you? Esper Charm could have blown it up. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Reads creature, not token. Oh, yeah, it does. Well, no, it just says creatures. It says any number of creatures. So I could sacrifice... Creature tokens are also creatures, Goblin Guy. Are you sure? I can sacrifice any number of creatures. Period. Doesn't specify that it can't be token creatures. Oh, it's why I'm excited. Souls does work. Yeah, exactly. Like, so the next build of the deck, we're literally swapping these demons for Torgars, and then I might sneak some number of... I probably run a Lingering Souls over like the Call and the Bitter, and then Campbell becomes... Let me show you. So the demons become some amount of Torgar. I don't know if I'm going to run 2 or 3. Probably at least 2. So I need to pre-order some. And then the Call the Bloodline probably becomes a main board Lingering Souls. So we have a lot of discard outlets, so I like having like 2 or 3 Lingering Souls in the 75 here for sure. So like that becomes a Souls. Souls to the board maybe. Campbell and Bitter get cut, and then we run like a Timely Reinforcements. Yeah. Oh, okay, you were agreeing with me. Well, you don't have to. Something like this is what I would do. No Grizzlebrand? Not anymore. Nah. Not anymore. How's the Footsteps been? Notice that you went up to the set now. Actually, I really like it. So, like, without Grizzle in the deck now, I like it even more. It's an enabler for setting up the things that the deck wants to be doing anyway. It has less... Obviously, it doesn't have Jace synergy, so that's where it's a little weak. And we could still run just the 7. But I feel like it's just so important that our deck, like, does its thing game 1. Like, that I like the playset. For now. I mean, it's not permanent. Let's go back to the previous build. I like how I labeled this demon until Dominaria. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't have synergy for Jace, but what does it have synergy for? So let's break it down on this episode. I'm just kidding. But let's break it down on this episode of BrewSpytheMagicGuy. So, yeah, so, like, these don't work with the reanimation, but once these become Torgars, they will, and we can add them to the pile. Jace's work with Vengeance as well. So we've got 11 cards for Vengeance, and then how many do I have for Footsteps? Well, only 8, right? Only 8. And of those 8, which ones work the best with Footsteps? It's Aname, quickly followed by Obsidat, Kuro to a lesser extent, and Torgar to, well, a lesser extent. We still get the trigger. Kuro can still clear a board off of Footsteps. Maybe try 3 steps, 2 souls. That could be the right build. Right, in the future build, I could see the future build being, yeah, it could be. And then it gives us another Lingering Souls, and then we get another sideboard spot. I want to be playing 2 souls, for sure. And then we still run Campbell, because card's sweet. Card can still be sacrificed to Torgar. I really like these legends. So I haven't talked about the split of Kataki and Campbell in the board. Both of these have interesting implications with Vengeance. We haven't really talked about that. And I'd like to discuss it really quick. I know this is probably the cutest thing on my board, but I love doing interesting things, outlandish things with Goryo. So let's talk about these really quick. What happens if I were to, during my own end step, so let's say I'm playing against Affinity or Lantern, and they kill my Kataki, right? They're going to kill the Kataki. They're going to Thoughtseize the Kataki, whatever. Kataki's in the yard. During my end step, I Goryo's the Kataki. The Kataki would exist... I mean, obviously they could just kill it again, but... I'm just going best case scenario. The Kataki is on the battlefield during my opponent's upkeep. They have to sacrifice all their things. Kataki's evil. Kataki's kind of cool. All right, and then Campbell, right? So they'd have to kill it twice when it comes to Vengeance. And if they kill it, I get to Vengeance it again. Unless it's unless it's something like Path, I can just keep Vengeancing these legends. Like, let's say we're up against Storm, right? Maybe that's a good example. So we slam Campbell. Okay, they had the bolt for the Campbell. All right, but they didn't go off that turn. Next turn, in the middle of them trying to go off, I Vengeance Campbell into play. In the middle of my Storm player trying to go off, right? Like, they tapped all their blue mana for a moment because they're just trying to cast that tasty Pass in Flames now, right? Well, but they didn't leave the Remand open. And now it's kind of awkward, right? Because, like, they thought the Campbell was dead, but the Campbell's on the table, and all their red mana's floating, and they have these grape shots, and, like, but they only had, like, 12 life points back, and, like, now it's like they can't keep comboing, right? Interesting, right? Could be interesting. Using Goryo's Vengeance in outlandish but interesting ways. I've also found that timely... Well, no, I need token generation. I need token generation. That's why I would run something like Timely. I need to make tokens for this guy. I don't disagree with you. I like Blessed Alliance too, but I mean, we could swap out a Path for a Blessed, but like I need to be able to hit like Scavenging Ooze. How many Ooze answers am I running besides? Sometimes it's not big enough to survive Brutality, but how many Ooze answers am I on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe It's a temporary answer. 5? And then give or take if it's small enough for me to brutality. I mean, I did build some of the deck with, obviously, cards that hose us in mind. That only work with Campbell. If you do it when they go for the Pass and Flames, would definitely cool. Yeah, Riddix, I was just... probably we have to stick this and hope that we can, like, protect it, right? Like, usually it would be like turn 1 Thoughtseize, take the Bolt, and they're like, wait, why would you take my Bolt? Then they slam Goblin Electromancer, I Brutality the Electromancer dead, take another Bolt, slam Campbell, win the game. I mean, like, I'm not saying that Campbell is what equals the win. I'm saying all these other plays our deck is already doing, plus maybe a Campbell or a Dispel could win the Storm matchup. Like, we were having a little trouble against Storm. Surprise, surprise, having a little trouble against Storm. And we could go ahead and test this build. We could go ahead and test it with 2 souls, only 3 footsteps. Here's the problem with going ahead and testing this build. It doesn't have Torgar. And I kind of still really like running the other cards because they work with Demon. So until Dominaria, I'd rather stick with... You know what? We don't have to run... We could still just test 3 footsteps. We could go back to testing 4th Jace. We could test 2 calls. Souls is for a later list. Yeah, we could test 2 calls. I was thinking about getting some really pretty looking calls. They're so cheap. The promo Call the Bloodline is like 15 cents. I like that card. Sweet. Oh, I don't have enough copies of that one on Moto, though. So we'll just run the normal one. But yeah, we could run like 2 calls in the spot where we're going to be running Lingering Souls, just because these make black tokens for Demon. The fact that it's also lifelink and a discard outlet for the deck is relevant. And then and we'll still keep running the Bitter in the board and not change anything yet. It's sad, but what is Dominaria? Oh, it's the new set. Don't even sweat it, man. The original plane. Yeah. Everybody's super excited. So Dominaria, if you want to look at the spoilers, they've already started spoiling. I'm excited about New Teferi for sure as well. God, what about like New Teferi in reference to the new Moxen? Like you'd play him and then you play Mox and you untap with 3 mana? I mean, that's probably like a standard play that people will try to cobble together. Mox Amber. We tried to build like a green-white Legends for Modern that was just like Thalias and random like beatdown, like random beats Legends. Anyway. Yeah, but just for the purposes of us talking about this, let's keep it on Torgar. Don't you guys speculate on this and make it more expensive than it already is. It's already going to be like an arm and a leg for me to get as many as I need for this deck. Probably need 2 or 3. Right now I'm just testing the 2. Yeah, I mean, Demon's does such a terrible impression of what Torgar will do, I think. The benefit to Demon is it doesn't cost us black, but I'd much rather play the black mana than pay. I think Demon has the better body, right? That's the difference. Like, Torgar has the more relevant abilities, but Demon has the better bodies. This is just a 7/6. This is a 9/9 flying trample, so... I mean, I could eventually test a split. Like, I don't have to go straight to... The problem is the deck building restrictions that Demon has versus Torgar. Torgar can sacrifice any type of creature, whereas Demon must sacrifice specifically black creatures. I could even sacrifice an extra Jace to the new card coming out, but I can't do that with Demon. Play Mox Amber with the Grizzlefather. Jace is your legendary, 4 Simeon, 4 Mox. Yeah, but Big Richie, I wasn't really trying to make this into like a bad Griselbrand. I was trying to make... Actually, honestly, the direction we're going in is a more combo-centric Goryo's Vengeance, which is a.k.a. another way of me calling it Bad Dredge, right? Will the card still go to the graveyard? How does buyback work with Relic? Does the card still go to the grave? How does buyback work with Relic? I know you were talking about Mox Amber. Yeah, I know that's what you're referring to. What card are you talking about, Chris? How will buyback work with Relic? What Relic? Which one? I'm assuming it was just on the screen a moment ago when I was in the Artifact section. I don't remember there being a relic card being spoiled. You're talking about Relic of Progenitus? Those Bloodghasts have been doing work, though, says DRMC. Oh, it's for your game against me? Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris goes to my local hobby store, so... Or I should say I go to Chris's local hobby shop, because he's been going there longer than me. How would Relic of Progenitus work with buyback? Are you talking about with, like, Jace flashbacking something? Is that what you mean? Oh, you're going to add a buyback spell to your deck. Oh, okay. I'm with you now. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and host somebody else because I'm too exhausted to play another game. Or I mean, I could, but I feel like I would just play very poorly. Not that you guys wouldn't watch. I mean, that's always fun when we're just screwing around. But if you want to play the deck, please do. Let people know where you found it. That would be super awesome. That's all I can ask for. Yeah, tell people we brewed it here on the Brews by the Magic Guy show. We'll test a second call maybe next stream and see if we like it to help facilitate Demon and kind of pseudo-represent as a placeholder for, like, Lingering Souls. So they both don't make dudes until I invest 3 mana, so that's not me saying this is anything close to Lingering Souls, but they can fulfill a similar role, and one facilitates Torgar better, one facilitates Demon. No, I'm not playing Jace Tribal. I'm playing 3 Jace Fringe Prodigies. All right, well, I'm going to go host somebody else, but thank you guys so much for coming. You know, you guys have so much for my stream. I want to go ahead and show you that we're very, very close to partnership. Thank you guys so much. We're very close. Oops. Ruined. I just wanted you guys to know that we're almost there. So please keep watching the show. We get new perks unlocked for the show should we make that goal. So please keep coming. For more reasons than just the fact that we're almost to a very important goal. Yeah, I'm going to see who else is streaming. No, we didn't build Jace Tribal. But I am playing 3 Jace. I added the 3rd copy again. Not that I think that's correct for the deck, but it's really pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, but appreciate you guys coming. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come hang out with us in this wonderful brew, so I appreciate you. How dare you sleep? Hey, what's up, Ram? Wow, still 62 of you guys. Hold tight, the 62 of you that didn't already peace out. I'm going to host to another Magic stream, and I think hosting is very important. A lot of how I got started and how I've established our show came from hosting, so I'd like to do the same to another streamer if possible. So please don't leave just yet. Hold on. All right, let's see. Emailing's on. He's playing Scred. Rossum's playing Jund. Let's see. Oh, MTG Altars is on. I might have them alter some Jaces for me. Very tempting to host them. I know it's not specifically... Ooh, there's also somebody playing the Tesserator deck. All right, hang on. I'm going to host the Tesserator deck. It's super cool. It's modern Tesserator, no joke. Yeah. Not a huge fan of his stream name, but whatever. Yeah, of course. 20 Scientists, thanks so much, guys. All right, I'll see you. Enjoy the... Yeah, he's playing the modern Tezzeret deck, so for a teaser, he's playing this. It's super cool. Basically, it's a Tezzeret the Seeker take on... It's not quite Lantern. It's a different beast. So go ahead and check out Jar Jar the Taco Tard. God, am I really going to host that name? All right, well... Oh, there's also Professor French. I've hosted Professor French in the past. He's solid. So, yeah, there's a couple of different ideas for you guys. Also, MTG Altars, I'll give them a shout-out. They make some sweet altars. All right, I'll see you on the next show.